Good afternoon. My name is Bill Jones. I'm the Vice President of Development for Crystal Creek Organics. Our company removes phosphorus from cow manure, creating a saleable soil amendment product while eliminating a major cause of harmful algae blooms. Here's what we do. Using our proprietary process, which is housed in a portable trailer, we remove 95% of the phosphorus from dairy cow manure. The result is a soil amendment product that can be sold off the farm and a low phosphorus liquid that is left on the farm and can be spread with almost no restriction. We have a full-scale demonstration unit at Spruce Haven Farms in Union Springs that has processed over 500,000 gallons of manure from 4 different farms. Each of our commercial units will process 4 million gallons of manure and produce 5 million pounds of soil amendment product. By removing the phosphorus, we solve 3 major problems. Problem number 1, spreading manure is expensive for the dairy farmer. Large farms may have to truck their manure 10 miles or more to spread it. To put this into perspective, the dairy cows in the Grow New York region produce 4 billion, that's with a B, gallons of manure per year. Our solution, based on 2 NYSERDA-funded studies that validated savings of 3 cents per gallon. After paying our processing fee of 2 cents a gallon, the farmers save $40,000 per year. These savings have been validated by the farm's own nutrient management consultants. Doug Young, who is hosting our demonstration unit, says controlling manure spreading costs and risks is critical to the profitability of dairy farms. Problem number 2, harmful algal blooms. It is well documented that phosphorus is one of the major contributors to algal blooms, and the majority of it comes from agriculture. The first reported bloom was in 2012, and we had over 1,100 blooms in New York State this year. I find it interesting that this problem has created its own metric, lost beach days. And unfortunately, Grow New York is leading the state. Our solution removes 9 tons of phosphorus per unit per year from the watershed, and this has been validated by numerous third-party tests. In terms of economic impact, Jeff Trescott, a leading real estate broker, says it well. The #1 threat to lakefront property values in the Finger Lakes is harmful algal blooms. Problem number 3, manure stored in lagoons generates methane gas, which is 20 times more potent than CO2. With our solution, the manure is never put into a storage lagoon, so it never has a chance to generate methane gas. Because of this, we eliminate 110 tons of methane gas emissions per year. Our business model involves selling solids to soil amendment customers as a primary ingredient. We will begin selling in 2022 while simultaneously focusing on the development of higher margin products using our soil materials as feedstock. For example, we have completed testing of our molicide product with Oregon State University proving efficacy, and Scott's Miracle-Gro is very interested in working with us on this product. Because peat moss harvesting may be restricted in the future, 2 of our customers, including Scott's Miracle-Gro and a nursery in Auburn, want to work with us on a peat moss replacement strategy. We have also begun investigating carbon trading and have a letter of interest from a California-based trading firm, 3 Degrees, offering to pay $5 per ton of CO2 equivalent. And on December 2nd, we will be hosting a meeting at Spruce Haven Farm with a biochar developer. With 180 large dairy farms in the Grow New York region, we can become a very large and very successful company without ever leaving the area. For example, if we put 1 unit on every large farm in Cayuga County, we will generate over 30,000 tons of soil product per year. Since last year, when we were here, we have added soil amendment customers and expanded into the side dressing and nurseries market. We have delivered multi-gallon samples to many of them, and 3 of them are currently doing plant studies. Scott's Miracle-Gro, which has a major plant in western Monroe County, has successfully tested our material and wants to meet with us to discuss which products they can use our material in. What we found after extensive customer discovery is that our competitors are only selling 1 to 2 units per year. With low milk prices, it's no surprise that dairy farmers are not interested in buying expensive equipment, But through these conversations, we determined a very competitive advantage. The dairy farmers are very interested in paying for this service by the gallon. Not only does it eliminate a major capital purchase, it allows them very tight control of their variable costs. In addition, our removal rates and solid content exceeds that of our competition. We are the only company in this field that is offering processing as a service and generating revenue from our byproduct. These are not people we were just introduced to last month. These 31 relationships are active, deep, and represent hundreds of hours of investment. Just to name a few: Cornell School of Integrated Plant Science, Spruce Haven and Allen Farms, Scott's Miracle-Gro, Dairy One Labs, NYSERDA, the Owasco Lake Watershed Management Council, the Center of Excellence in Food and Agriculture, and I'd like to thank Tricia Kerr, Cayuga County Councilwoman, who delivered a letter of support to us today from Cayuga County. In reality, these regional partners are an integral part of our team. Let me tell you about our leadership team. Every major function is filled with a very experienced professional who have been leaders in 9 startups, 6 of which have been in food and agriculture. We have also recruited an outstanding candidate to lead our product development efforts. She is ready to begin January 1 and will be working out of the labs we will be renting at the Center of Excellence in Geneva. We have an experienced, complete, well-qualified team that is ready to scale. Our jobs forecast is well justified, and we are ready to begin hiring January 1. We are very confident in our ability to deliver 12 jobs in 2022 and 28 within 3 years. The next part is the most exciting part of our presentation. I would like to announce publicly that Crystal Creek has signed a memorandum of understanding with Fournier Industries, one of the world's premier dewatering companies out of Montreal, Canada, with over 500 installations globally. After selecting them as our dewatering supplier, they proposed partnering with us to expand their business into the U.S. dairy market using the Grow New York region as their center of operations. Together, we will commercialize our technology, develop high-end products, and they will share offices with us at the Center of Excellence. This picture shows their equipment at Spruce Haven Farm processing our treated manure. The economic impact of this new relationship could double our jobs forecast. This graph shows our projected financials and the impact of our grow volume, grow value business plan. We forecast being cash flow positive by the end of year 2 and begin to accelerate revenue as we add higher margin products. With your decision to provide funding, our focus will be on hiring and product development. The more we win, the more we can accelerate our plans. Furthermore, selecting us as a winner will send a very clear message to Fournier Industries that Grow New York is an excellent place for their U.S. operation. Since we were here last year, we have expanded our network of dairy farms and soil customers, selected a dewatering system, produced and distributed high-volume samples to our customers, and began plant trials. In summary, we provide real value to the dairy industry, reduce the environmental impacts of phosphorus and methane, create a sustainable product that generates revenue immediately, has a seasoned team that's ready to begin, and we are already well established in Grow New York and ready to scale. Combine all of these with our newly announced relationship with Fournier Industries, and we have a guaranteed formula for success. Thank you.
Great. Okay, right at 10 minutes. Well done. So over to you, John Caltabiano, for our first question.
I'd like to bring up my...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'd like to introduce Andy
This guy.
Pomeroy, our CEO.
Good
Bring up Andy.
afternoon,
Why not?
everybody.
Woo!
How you doing?
Over to you, John C.
I did notice that some people gave out samples for you to eat. We have samples here too, but you know.
You want to give our judges some...
I'd be glad to afterwards, but we got 10 minutes, so
Yeah. All right, John C., questions?
Yeah, so great kickoff here, great presentation. Clearly the need is there. I know you don't have to convince most of us of that. So I guess my question would be targeted to sort of the sales revenue model, although I'm wondering if what you just announced completely throws that into a different spot. But I was struggling a little bit with the parts that were sort of the service base versus selling the product. Like you're dewatering, you're getting paid for that. Who owns the byproduct? You or the farmer? And you know what's the strategy around all those? And is the sale of the byproduct now part of the model revenue model that you presented in your presentation?
Yes, there's a lot of options here, but you know, without an hour, our simple model is we process the manure by the farm, we charge them 2 cents, that covers our operating fee, and we end up with a soil amendment product at no cost to us. So we own, you know, simple answer is we own the product and we'll sell it.
So in reality, you're covering your costs in the dewatering. Where you're really making your money is in the byproduct.
Correct.
Oh, okay, that's helpful.
Great. Annie, over to you.
I think you kind of also asked my question, but I'm going to drill down on something else. Can you please explain to me, is there a waste component that you have to still deal with? That was not clear for me. And then if you could give a little more explanation around if you were to advance what the job creation, because that, if we could go back to that.
I missed the first part of your question, I'm sorry.
Is there a waste stream, is there a waste component that you have to deal with post the processing?
We leave the 75% of the 4 million gallons are left on the farm as a very low phosphorus liquid that can be spread with almost no restrictions. And that has less than a half a pound of phosphorus per 1,000 gallons, so it's below any DEC regulations.
And that would be used for watering, like, yeah.
It has relatively speaking, it has a high nitrogen value. So what we're working with the nutrient management consultants, the farms now have one product to spread, manure. Now we're creating 2 additional products. We might sell the solid off the farm or leave it on the farm, and then they've got the water, or tea water, which the profession calls it, and you can do a lot of different things. Doug Young, who is really innovative, he wants to pump that up to the top of the hill that feeds his shallow aquifer and let Mother Nature clean up the water.
Okay. And then can you talk about your jobs creation? Could you walk through that side a little more detail for me as well?
Okay.
So we will create 7 direct jobs, and the other 5 are direct jobs with our partners. For example, on logistics, farms have large silage trucks sitting around all 12 months, 11 months of the year, and we will contract with the farmers to drive the material to the soil amendment customers. So those will be, that's a job, direct job, but with our partners, if that makes sense.
But are these as a result of Win and Grow? These look like as a result of the partnership. That's what I wanted to clarify.
There's no jobs with Fournier on this list. Yeah, that's why I say, it should be, once we develop the details of our agreement with Fournier, these will get better.
Okay, thank you.
Great. So Laura Peterson, you're up next.
I think this is a great potential because I live in the Finger Lakes and I know how the HAVs have become a serious problem. And I'm sure that some of it, not all of it, but some of it is definitely due to increased dairy in the area. And so anything we can do to reduce the phosphorus is great. On these units, do you move them around or is there one for every farm?
The beauty, which Mary brought up as the first statement last year, and I appreciate that, these can be portable, right? We could put them in an existing building, but it's very easy to put them into a trailer, so we can bring them to a farm for a certain period of time. So, you know, all of our finances, by the way, are based on one shift, but we all know that the farmers work more than that. So we might run 2 shifts at one farm and go over to another farm that are large. Or, you know, some people have asked us, what's the minimum farm size? And my simple answer is we could go as low as 200 cows, but do 2 or 3 of those. So the portability allows a lot of flexibility because to set them up, we got to hook up to the electric, we got to run a flexible hose into the source of the manure, and we have to train the operator. It becomes that simple. And the Fournier industry unit, I was in that trailer, fully automated, just really impressive.
So it runs all the time. Basically, the manure comes right from the farm, the barn area, right to this. It never goes anywhere else.
Correct. At Spruce Haven, they have a digester, and the manure comes out of the digester through a holding tank, and we have actually been drawing our manure directly from that holding tank.
Hi. Is there an actual water input process prior to dewatering? Do you actually put water in your treatment?
Well, we have to treat the incoming manure to separate the phosphorus out. And then from that, we separate the water, which has been treated, essentially remove the phosphorus from, and then we keep the solids. So there's a pre-treatment before the dewatering. It's not just dewatering.
Then how much water do you use in this process?
Well, we don't use any water. The manure coming in averages about 5% solids. That's coming out of the digester or the barn. And we add a coagulant and a flocculant and then dewater it. So we're not adding water to dilute it. You know, that would be the basis of your question. And we return water that's less than 1% solids and less than 1/2 pound of phosphorus per 1,000 gallons.
And that fundamental is what gives the farmer the flexibility to spread that liquid anywhere he wants on the farm, where before he was restricted because it was full of phosphorus, so he had to go far afield to spread it because the field had already become concentrated with phosphorus and he was a red zone. So the way they save money is that they can spread, they don't have to go as far to spread, and they also have less volume to spread. That's where the 3 cents comes from. We charge them 2, they make a penny, and the 2 covers our operating costs, so we have a free operating cost material that then we sell as a soil amendment, or we further refine into these high-end products, which bring 10x the value, because what's in that solid is full of just tremendous product, nutrients, different minerals. We'll biochar it into carbon or magnetic carbon. We'll have a molicide as a natural pesticide. So we're taking this material at a very low cost and doing wonderful things with it from both a financial but a recycling perspective, and the farm's happy, we're happy, and the watershed's happy. So it's kind of it's a really good deal.
No, from my background in the recycling industry, I'm all about reuse. Great job.
No, it's.
Maybe one more quick question from Mary Shellman, and we'll call it good there.
Now, first of all, it's always nice to know that whatever you said the previous year had an impact, so that was good. I still like the fact that this is mobile. that's a great thing. So, but I remember part of our feedback to you is go figure out what to do with this product, and it seems like you've had a lot of traction on that.
Yes.
But can you just give kind of a high-level summary of where you are in terms of you're thinking about, you're going to have a lot of this, kind of where it's going to go? Does it need to go far away? Does it, how do you move up that chain?
So let me answer that.
Okay.
So we have farm customers, we have soil amendment customers, and then we're going to have higher volume customers. So on the soil amendment customers, we will pair, in a very simple model, a farm with a soil amendment customer. Spruce Haven is 8 miles from Dickman Farms. And a full unit will give us about 2.5 silage trucks per week. So we will do a loop for that. Now with the higher margin products, we would most likely have a hub and spoke where multiple farms would be feeding into a manufacturing facility.
So I'm going to cut you there, Bill, because I sense we could talk about that for another 5 minutes. Good job. Thanks, guys. Give it up for Crystal Creek. Well done.